Ready to roll?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Looks a bit bumpy, but yeah.
So now that you've been doing a couple of smaller turns and a couple of wider turns, something that can actually help you to get those turns around is just unweighting the board a little bit. So every time you come into the turn, there's this subtle unweight to turn and then weighting again. Unweight to turn and weighting again. That motion will just help it make that little bit easier to change between the edges and make it more fluid. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to show you what that looks
so
like.
like a bit of compression in,
Yep.
out, compression in, out.
Correct. It's almost like you unweight the board right as you're about to change the edge. It lets it change easier, and then you get back on the new edge and down again.
Cool.
I'll show you what that looks like as we ride down here, and then come on down after me.
Yeah.
It's very subtle. So I'm on the heel edge right now. I'm going to change to the toe edge. So I'm going to unweight and change, and then back down. I'm on the toe edge, unweight, change edge, back down. Unweight, change edge, back down. Unweight, change edge, back down. And it just helps to be able to change those edges, make those turns come around smoother. All right.
Felt a bit bumpy, getting used to
Bumpy.
just getting used to feeling like snow, then a bit icier, then snow, and a bit,
Yeah.
yeah, just getting used to that.
A bit bumpy and a bit steeper.
Yeah, that was definitely steeper than.
Okay, it's okay, you can sit down, because you came across a problem that's very, very common for beginner snowboarders, is that when you get into that slightly steeper terrain, people start to lean back that little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just this natural thing, you get a little bit cautious, you start to lean back on that back foot. It actually makes the turns really hard to come around
Yeah.
when you're leaning back.
So you need to keep neutral.
So I spotted it on your riding there, and you'll be able to see it on the camera, is as you get on that steeper thing, you pick up speed, weights a little bit far back, hard to get that turn.
Yeah.
So what you actually want to do is try to lean downhill with the hill into that front foot. Makes the edge engage you.
Kind of drive into it a bit.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Sweet. Especially is going to happen on the steeper stuff.
Cool.
Okay, here we go.
Watch out for the shark.
I'm going to keep doing that unweighting thing, but every time I get into that steep terrain, I'm going to be leaning downhill into my front foot.
I'm just going to come to the side.
Leaning downhill into my front foot. Leaning downhill into my front foot. All right. Good. Nicely done. Finishing off that turn. How'd that feel?
Better. It's a conscious effort of trying to lean into that front foot a
Yep.
bit and drive through the turn.
Now, as you get better and you get on steeper and steeper slopes, the steeper the slope, the more you're going to lean downhill. Make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of like if this arm was my board and this was me,
Yeah.
and the hill's down, the more steep downhill, the more your body leans downhill to be in balance on your board.
Yeah.
Cool. And that up-down weighting thing, you're going to use that all over the mountain. Again, the more steep the run, the quicker you have to get those turns around, the more you're going to unweight to get that turn around really quick.
Yeah.
Cool?
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Feels good.
We've got a nice flat section here. It's actually going to be a good time to do your first little switch riding.
Oh, okay.
So, in that position you are right now, point the nose of your board downhill, roll over. Oh, other way.
Other way, that's
Other
it.
way. That's the easy way. Point the nose down a little bit more. There we go. There we go. The more you point the nose downhill, the easier. Now we're going to stand up. We're going to be riding goofy on the toe edge. across this run. Are you ready? Follow me. We're not turning, just staying on the toe edge. How awkward does it feel?
It's all right.
Good.
I'm used to riding switch a bit, so
Keep
very
it up.
different to a skateboard, but it's the same principles.
The earlier we get you into riding switch, the better it's going to be for your snowboarding. Staying on that toe edge, slowing down when you need to. And now when you feel comfortable, we can do a heel edge turn, a switch heel edge turn. Nice, and riding towards me on the heels. And he's going in for the switch toe edge turn. Nicely done, nicely done. Keep it on the toe edge. Oh, all good.
Yeah.
First couple of switch turns. Until we get to the steeper section, do a couple more switch turns. Yeah, it's always easier to stand up from your toe edge. A little bit of speed going across hill. Too easy. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay, back to regular turns. It's steeper here.
Yeah.
There you go. So at this point in Tim's riding, it's all about getting a bit of mileage in, just getting him used to making these different turns. So I'm not giving him a ton of instruction, I'm just letting him ride. We're on a steeper part here, so he's gonna feel that he has to make these turns a little bit quicker. There he goes. And slowing down a lot between each turn while you're on a steeper section like this. He's doing really good. Slowing down. And when he's ready, he's going to get into that toe side turn. Nicely done. Stop there, Tim. No, he's just cruising. I'm going to let him keep cruising. Now he's on the cat track. Keeping that board straight where you want to go. That's it. Nicely done. All right, stop there. How do you feel?
Good.
Crushing it?
It's felt smooth, yeah.
Crushing it?
Trying to get used to getting that like weight on the front and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, you came down that steep section, no problem at all.
Yeah.
And you found when you get into that steep section, you have to make those turns a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it was noticeably, in my head, I was like, right, straighten out, get a bit of speed,
Yep.
compress into the mountain, and then engage as you come around it into the turn.
Correct. And then slowing yourself down, finishing off each turn, slowing down after each turn on the steep section.
Was I better on the toe edge doing that then?
Perfect.
I feel like
Yep.
when I'm on the toe edge, coming down and I'm trying to slow down, my board's a bit kind of like, not parallel with the hill, but kind of like pointing down on my tail edge a bit, kind of like stuttering, and then I bring it back round.
Well, that's how you slow down. Bring the board like more than you need to will slow you down quicker.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when you get into these flatter slopes, you can start riding with a bit more speed and making those
Yeah.
turns a bit wider. And
Gradually.
you don't have to slow down as much between each turn. You can just kind of link
Do
them up.
larger arcs and
Yep.
link them. Cool.
Yep. So from here to the bottom, you've got a section that is more a bit more open, a bit more mellow, so you can probably start to ride with a bit more speed. And I'm challenging your balance, I'm challenging your position, and jump off the hill.
As soon as I jumped, I felt my weight was like, no!
Across the hill. There we go. More speed's gonna help, and getting that real smooth edge across the run. Hit the bank. Nice. Crushing it.